Drake and Amazon are up to something, and he also might have been teasing Scary Hours 4. But before I get into that, I have to be honest. Drake followed Hip Hop Flash on Instagram. He followed me. So shout out to the boy once again. Let me tell you how it happened. It was the middle of the night. I was fast asleep, but for some reason I woke up. You know how it is. You wake up and immediately start scrolling through your phone. As I was scrolling, I had a ton of notifications because that NFR debate video had been going viral. Both clips had racked up hundreds of thousands of views. I also had a video shared by Drake Aligned on Instagram. Shout out to him. He posted a video, tagged me, and that was going viral as well. So I had all these notifications, but something told me to check the verified tab. It was probably around 4:30 or 5 in the morning. I opened it up and thought, whoa, that username looks familiar. At first, I assumed it was one of those fake pages with an extra underscore or something, but then I realized it was Drake's actual account. He had followed me. And let me tell you something, if you're a content creator, keep creating. Don't quit. You never know who's watching. You never know who's sharing your content, and you never know when something is going to go viral. The fact that Drake followed me is a huge validation of the work I've been putting into YouTube and content creation. Maybe it was the debate video. Maybe it was one of my basketball videos that went viral. It could have been anything. The point is, you never know who's paying attention. When one of the most famous people on the planet, the biggest hip-hop artist alive, sees your content and decides to follow your page, that means something. This isn't really about me. It's for anyone watching. Keep going. That one follow could lead to opportunities you never expected. That's all I'll say. Actually, let me add one more thing. I haven't spoken to Drake. I want to be completely clear about that. It was simply a follow. He didn't message me, leave a comment, or like any of my posts. He just followed me. Maybe one day we'll get the chance to talk. Hopefully we do, because there are a few things I genuinely love to ask him. Not necessarily in an interview. I'm just curious about a few things, and maybe he'd be willing to share his perspective. Who knows? Maybe he'll even have a message for everyone subscribed to Hip Hop Flash. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, go do that now. I'll put my username on the screen. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on mobile, definitely hit that like button. Now, let's get into today's topic, Drake, Amazon, and the possibility of Scary Hours 4. Last year, when Drake officially launched his Amazon storefront, Hip Hop Flash was one of the first channels to really dive into what he was doing and what he could potentially accomplish. I talked about everything, from direct-to-consumer bundles and merchandise sales to collecting customer data and strengthening his partnership with Amazon, one of the biggest companies in both retail and technology. I was completely sold on the idea. I genuinely thought he was going to use this strategy for Iceman. Notice I said thought. I never claimed it was guaranteed, but I believed it was a partnership that made perfect sense. It felt like a win-win for everyone. Instead, that idea seems to have been put on ice. But yesterday, something changed. We need to revisit the Amazon storefront because there have been some updates. As you scroll through the storefront, you'll notice a few things. First, you'll see the Pinocchio figure. You'll also see the ATV that appeared in the plot twist video. Then there's the Ariel 29 Rolls-Royce that Drake owns for the strip club. But the biggest update is the new merchandise. If you click through the collection, you'll find the Iceman Official Record Holder t-shirt. Not only does it feature the album artwork, it's called Record Holder because Drake now holds the record for the most #1 singles. You'll also find the Habibi t-shirt, the Iceman Lebanese shirt, and the Maid of Honor long sleeve. One of the more interesting designs features George Gervin, the original Iceman from the NBA. That's why it has the number 44 in the black and white color scheme, representing his time with the San Antonio Spurs. There are also other references throughout the storefront, including the bot farm featured in the outro of the video. But I also think there are hidden messages scattered throughout. We're going to hold off on analyzing every shirt for now. I mainly wanted to show you that the storefront has recently been updated, and I believe there's a reason behind it. Let's break it all down. And for everyone who says you only say positive things about Drake, you spin narratives, relax. I've been consistent with both my criticism and my praise. When Drake deserves credit, I give it to him. When I think he misses the mark, I say that too. One thing I genuinely believe, though, is that Drake is leaving a huge opportunity on the table by not fully taking advantage of this Amazon partnership. When you start something, finish it. If the opportunity is sitting right in front of you, don't leave it there. The first opportunity he's missing is bundles.
Iceman reportedly moved around 460,000 units in his first week. If Drake had combined the release with merchandise bundles or physical copies, I honestly believe those numbers could have reached 750,000 or possibly even higher. After listening to the album, though, it became pretty clear that wasn't the direction he wanted to take. He even says it himself, all the numbers are final, no t-shirts, no vinyl. I understand that mindset. Some people argue that bundles inflate first-week numbers. That's a fair point, but if you have the ability to use those tools strategically, I believe you should take advantage of them. And that's only the beginning of what I think Drake is leaving on the table with this Amazon partnership.
Let's go through the rest of the opportunities I think Drake is missing by not fully embracing this partnership with Amazon. The first is simply the numbers. He could dominate the market even more than he already does. There really isn't any competition. If you have the opportunity to widen the gap, why not take advantage of it? Don't leave room for debate. The second advantage is fan accessibility. Amazon removes so many of the barriers between an artist and their audience. Fans don't have to search for an artist's website, hunt down merchandise, find the music, or bounce between different platforms. Everything can exist within the Amazon ecosystem. With a single click, fans can purchase music, merch, or anything else connected to the artist. Anyone who's ever shopped on Amazon knows how seamless that experience is. Without constantly redirecting fans to different websites and apps, Drake could make the entire process much easier by leaning into the partnership. The third advantage is customer data. Not only can Drake collect valuable customer information, but he can also benefit from the incredible amount of consumer data Amazon has built over the years. If fans interact through Amazon's ecosystem, Drake gains access to one of the richest consumer data environments in the world. Amazon understands purchasing habits, browsing behavior, shipping patterns, and regional demand because millions of people use the platform every day. That information can help Drake in several ways. First, it can help determine where to tour based on customer demand. Second, it makes merchandise fulfillment much more efficient. Third, it provides valuable insight into marketing strategies and fan behavior. And fourth, it gives him a more direct connection to fans through email marketing and customer outreach. At the same time, Drake shouldn't rely entirely on Amazon's data. He should continue building his own customer database as well. The reality is that record labels today aren't just music companies, they're data companies. The more information you have about your audience, the better positioned you are to market music, merchandise, tours, and future projects. The fourth opportunity is the broader Amazon partnership itself. Think about Amazon Music and the exclusive live streaming events they host. Think about documentaries released through Amazon Prime. Think about Amazon's fulfillment network and world-class logistics. This is arguably the best domestic shipping company on the planet. Fast fulfillment alone opens countless possibilities for merchandise and exclusive releases. For OVO, this partnership creates multiple infrastructure channels. It connects music, merchandise, lifestyle branding, technology, logistics, marketing, and distribution under one ecosystem. Working with Amazon doesn't get much bigger than this. So if that partnership is available, I don't understand why they wouldn't maximize every opportunity it offers. Now, is there a reason Drake hasn't fully leaned into it? Actually, there are a few possibilities. Think about it like a relationship. You don't reveal all your cards during the first week because then there's nowhere left to go. You save your biggest moves for the right moment. That same idea could apply here. Drake is approaching an important stage in his career regarding his record deal. Whether he's trying to leave his current agreement, renegotiate it, or sign a new deal for the amount he wants, holding back certain strategies actually makes sense. You don't want to reveal your entire game plan too early. If you're negotiating with another label, a private equity firm, Sony, or even re-signing with UMG, you want to demonstrate that there's still room for growth. Imagine if his next project includes merchandise bundles, exclusive physical editions, and a fully integrated Amazon rollout. That would immediately create an even bigger first week than Iceman. So maybe that's the strategy. Maybe Drake is saving those cards because his next move needs to be his biggest move. Honestly, I can see that being the case. Now let's talk about the possibility of Scary Hours 4. I'm going to reference a video from my guy Apox. Shout out to him. We've been talking for the past few months, ever since the Iceman rollout began.
Definitely check out his content on TikTok, X, and YouTube. I went back to Drake's Instagram to look at the posts Apox was referencing, but they've since been removed. So instead, let's go through the theory together. According to Apox, Drake had posted an image of an owl from Snow Owl Ranch as his 4th Instagram post. Shout out as well to my guy What's the Dirt. He originally pointed out that it was Drake's 4th post featuring an owl, suggesting it could be a subtle hint towards Scary Hours 4. I actually think that's an interesting theory. The owl is obviously connected to OVO, it's the 4th post, and if you've been following the Iceman rollout closely, you know Drake has hidden clues throughout the campaign. Everything has been cryptic, everything has been coded. If you paid close attention to the details, many of the rollout's surprises could actually be figured out ahead of time. Sometimes putting on the conspiracy hat actually pays off.
Let's look at one more theory, because I think this one is just as interesting. The latest cryptic Iceman post also appears on one of the new t-shirts. What makes it even more intriguing is the parental advisory explicit lyrics logo printed at the bottom. The theory is that this design isn't just another piece of Iceman merchandise. Instead, it could be teasing an entirely new project. Now, that theory could be wrong. It might simply be another clue connected to the Iceman rollout. But the new visual aesthetic, along with the sequence of phrases and lyrics on the shirt, makes it feel different from everything we've seen so far. Many fans believe it's hinting at another release, possibly the long-rumored Scary Hours 4. What Apox is suggesting is that those lyrics don't appear on Iceman or any of Drake's previously released projects. If that's true, they could belong to something that's still on the way. Drake has done this before. He's known for posting captions that later become song lyrics. Sometimes they end up on official releases, sometimes on throwaways, and other times they remain unreleased altogether. Then there's the parental advisory sticker itself. That's typically associated with physical music releases, which makes the theory even more believable. So, is it possible? Absolutely. Personally, I do believe we'll get another Drake project this year. Whether it's a full album, an EP, or another installment in the Scary Hour series, I think more music is coming. Drake and his team have made it clear that 2026 is their year. Iceman arrived in May, and there's still plenty of time left before the end of the year. Because of that, I fully expect another release before we close out 2026. But before any new music arrives, there are still a few major announcements we're waiting on. The biggest one is the tour. We've heard rumors for months. There was even an email reportedly sent through Live Nation, and several people not connected to Drake or his team reached out to me months ago saying that early planning had already begun. According to what I heard, discussions were already taking place regarding potential dates, cities, and venues. That's all I'll say on that for now. We'll have to wait and see how everything unfolds. Personally, I hope Drake fully embraces the Amazon partnership, whether it's under his current deal or whatever agreement comes next. And I hope we finally get the official tour announcement. And let's be honest, who doesn't want more Drake music? I genuinely believe Scary Hours 4 is coming, and I don't think we'll have to wait very long. Maybe it drops during the summer. Maybe Drake gives us one more soundtrack for the warm weather. Or maybe he saves it for the fall or winter to close out the year. Either way, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I want to hear from you. What are you looking forward to most from Drake? Is it the new record deal, the next project, the tour? Or do you want to see him release more merchandise and physical copies so fans can continue building their collections? I've already got a shelf full of vinyl over there, and I'd love to add more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on mobile, make sure you hit that like button. We've got plenty more videos on the way and a lot more to cover. Until next time, I'm Hip Hop Flash, and on this channel, we don't just talk about music, we talk about the business of music.